I lost my mom to the criminal justice system for 15 years. And I can't help but wonder, how would my life be different if she didn't keep going back to jail?
I was crushed when they took you. It messed me up. I couldn't handle it.
She was one of the 77% of incarcerated women who are rearrested within 9 years. My name is Messiah Rhodes, and as a filmmaker who grew up with a mother in and out of jail, I wanted to understand why breaking the cycle of incarceration is so difficult.
What makes us so different? We're human beings, we're people.
I'm 50 years old and I'm turning my life over.
I started filming this before the COVID-19 pandemic and the uprising over the killing of George Floyd. But the issues of systemic racism in the prison system have never been more important.
It doesn't matter what the odds are, I will bet on formerly incarcerated women any day, any time.
When I think about how my mom grew up, I think about how trauma is carried across generations. What happened to your parents?
They both died very young, my parents, in their 30s. My mom gave me to my grandmother right when I was born from the hospital. Because my grandfather went to jail for 4 years and we struggled. We hardly had food.
At 17, my mom got pregnant with me. Substance use and mental health problems would hinder her life for years.
We was in family court and he took you away from me. I was so devastated. It messed me up. I couldn't handle it, so I started using drugs even more. I was supposed to try to get you back, but I just got deeper and deeper and deeper involved in the drugs. I couldn't get out. I was medicating my pain.
Stuck in a vicious cycle, she went in and out of jail 4 times.
I had no place to go when I came out. I was homeless, so I started using right away.
This theme of fundamental lack of support is something I heard from women across the country.
I have 10 felony shoplifting convictions. At what point did a flag go up to say, hey, this lady, this woman, this girl needs some help?
If I'm a mother and you want me to be able to thrive, right, wouldn't you want services in the community? You know, wouldn't you want the government to have programs so that I don't have to commit another crime?
There is no central system, locally or federally, to support incarcerated individuals. But organizations like Hope House are trying to fill in this gap. It's a women-only reentry program in the Bronx.
And this is our kitchen area where the women have full access to the kitchen, cooking, and you know, this is their home.
Vinay Sykes, co-founder and program director, passed away from COVID-19 in May of 2020. I visited her just a few months earlier to learn more about Hope House.
We deal with it from a holistic approach. A lot of reentry, they want you to get a job as soon as you come out, right? But if you haven't dealt with those traumas that affected you at 12 and you're 50 years old and you're still battling the shame and the guilt, right? So you heal the mind and then the body will follow.
When they first brought it up, you know, I was like, I didn't need healing.
That was literally what you said.
That's what I said. There are so many things in the past that I don't really address. And when I was in that healing circle, I was like able to address some issues that, you know, I just don't want to remember anymore.
Like these women, my mom finally found a supportive housing program that kept her out of jail and helped her begin the process of healing.
It's lunchtime at the Rhodes home.
Macaroni!
Seems routine, but it's actually quite remarkable because a year ago, Wanique Rhodes didn't seem like she'd ever have a home.
In 2008, a news crew in New York City did a profile on her recovery.
I lived in this abandoned shack for a while, you know, going in and out of there to get high.
Prostituting to support a drug habit, Wanique gave birth to one child addicted to heroin and another she abandoned at the hospital.
Those 2 children were my brother and sister. I never knew them growing up.
This is the first time all 3 of my children were together.
Years earlier, my grandparents became my guardians after the courts decided my mother could no longer look after me.
They wouldn't let me see you.
Yeah, how did that make you feel?
I understood what she meant because she was saying we wasn't consistent in your life, so she stopped us from seeing you. You know, I used to send you pictures and stuff when I was in jail. I used to draw stuff and send it to the house. I don't know if you got any of that. You did?
I did, and then it stopped after a while.
So you did get that stuff?
Yeah, I got a little like Messiah bib thing I got. I kept that until I was too old to have that around. So. After we reconnected, my mom's life was back on the right track, but another obstacle still remained: getting a job.
Don't you remember when I was doing that online class and I asked you to help me out with the math over the phone? You remember that?
Oh, no.
29 Hawkins, I paid $200-some online to get my GED. And I was calling you to help me with the calculus. My mom's out of work and hasn't been able to look for a job for the last several years because of her disability. Nearly 44% of formerly incarcerated black women are unemployed. Projects like Operation Restoration in Louisiana are trying to help women rebuild their lives during and after prison.
When we talk about mass incarceration, we often leave out women, and the needs of women are a lot different than men and what that looks like.
Sharita Stape founded the group because of the roadblocks she faced trying to move on with her life after 10 years in prison.
For me, education changed me, it transformed me. I started taking classes while I was incarcerated, and it really put me on a path where I didn't want to return to prison.
Among the services, Operation Restoration tutors women to earn their high school equivalency diploma, or GED. Classes have been put on hold since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Us mothers gonna always be our children. Best friend, role models, everything. They gonna always look up to us.
Yes, and come to us for everything, more than a father. I'm sorry, y'all weak. I'm just playing.
Studies show that people who take part in prison education programs are less likely to be rearrested than those who haven't.
All my life I've been going in and out of jail. I didn't go to the 8th grade. I went to the 7th grade and that was it. But now I'm going to get my GED. I'm ready. I'm 50 years old and I'm turning my life over.
But even with an education, it's still far from easy.
I didn't see anybody fighting for me. For me, the black woman, I didn't see that.
Dolphinette Martin is the manager at Operation Restoration.
We're told that, your criminal conviction won't be used against you. And so when they deny you the job, if they even tell you that you're denied, they'll use some other bullshit. They won't tell you that's why, but that's why. So what we did as a movement here in this city, we banned the box on a lot of these, city jobs, state jobs, even on the federal level.
When Dolphinette talks about ban the box, she's referring to a set of laws that prohibit bosses from asking job applicants about their criminal history. 35 states across America have adopted these laws.
So if you hire one of us, you're gonna get the best employee you can get because we have something to prove. But people don't see us that way.
What struck me deeply was that for most of the women I talked to, their motivation to get back on their feet is usually their children or trying to heal from past traumas. In the next episode, I'll look at how health and family play a crucial role in how women can move forward with their lives.